Okay, this is a screenshot of a trade, or the chart of a trade I did over the past couple days. Cstu, which you can see right up here. And just to show what I did really quick, this was pumped on this day here. You can see this candle went up on the 7th. So I put an order in to get shares around 29. There were no shares available, but I left it as a good to cancel order, so I did get filled on Friday, the 10th, right near the close at 29. However, I only got filled for like 148 shares. I was trying to get more. So when it started to crash on Monday, it started to dump. You see this candle here where it dumped. I added, I got 300 some odd shares. That's right. I got 300 shares here on Friday, and I added 140 on Monday as it was going down. So that created, actually, my average ended up being like 26. So that was my average price at 26. I covered it at 19. Now, why didn't I cover it all the way down, or why didn't I go further? Because it was safe and easy. So it was a dump. This could be the major dump. You see how it went all the way down here and came back up. So that means it could bounce again. It was just what I call, if you see in my logs that I have on Google Drive, I always put S and E, which is safe and easy. Safe and easy just means it's guaranteed money. Very simple. You're not going to have any problem getting it covered, which is exactly what happened here. This was a very simple pump and dump. It was a one-day pump from about 5 or 6 different B-list, D-list promoters. So I knew it wasn't going to go too far, too fast. But, there were a lot of other people on it because shares were not available really quick. Right at the open, there weren't shares. I had been trying to get shares all the way up from anywhere. So now this could bounce again, and I will be watching it to see what it does. And it could also end up being pumped again, repumped. What can happen a lot of times with these is that it will, let me zoom out a little bit here. What happens is it could get pumped again, picked up by pumpers that are doing it as uncompensated, just to show that they're that they say that they can call something that moved up, right? If they could have a day like this and they say they called it, and they're going to call the top at 39. You say, well, it did move. If you had listened to us and got in at 18 and got out at 39, you could have made over 20 cents on it, which of course nobody's getting in at the exact bottom, getting out at the exact top, or in my case, shorting at the exact top and covering at the exact bottom. But it was just a neat little trade. I would have liked to have had about 10 times more of the shares. So I was happy to actually be in it. Now, what would have happened, and originally my strategy of getting into things like this is, if I got it at 29 and then it went up, let's say it went up and there were shares available, if it had given me a candle like this, a flat top candle with no wick, I would not have added the next day. But what I'm looking for is kind of like a candle like this. You see this red one right here on the 10th, but it to be green. That means it went up but couldn't hold its high and came back down. Now that doesn't mean that it's going to crash the next day. That just means that it has created some resistance that high. So I feel confident to add there. And a lot of times I'll add and then it'll still go against me, but then it'll start to drop. As it drops, if I get a flat bottom red candle like this one on the 10th, it means it closed on the low, then I will add again on that next day. So I have a strategy, which I call my skin strategy, scaling in strategy, that when I start a position, it's about 1/3 of what I expect to go in. Now that could go more, because I could add 4 times, I could add 5 times. I could add no times, which was the case here. Because it had its major drop, I'm going to take my money and go. So, well, this is video. Hopefully I'll be making more of these. If you have any questions, please drop me a line at zenstock2@gmail.com or check out my website, which is zentradermachine.com. If you have any stocks or anything that you would like to see me explain or make a video about, just let me know.